AACJ is an acronym for African Activist for Climate Justice. The project is a 5-year Dutch Ministry of Foreign Affairs funded program through Oxfam in Africa. Launched in July 2021 in Mombasa, Kenya, the project is being implemented in 8 African countries. The countries are Burkina Faso, Ethiopia, Kenya, Mozambique, Senegal, Somalia, South Africa, and Nigeria. AACJ, a consortium of 5 civil society organizations, seeks to, among other things, mobilize women, youth, and indigenous communities for action against climate change. In Nasarawa State, the project started in 2022, a year after its official launch. The project is being implemented by the Young Men Christian Association YMCA Mother Hills, supported by the Association of Small-Scale Agro-Producers in Nigeria. AACJ has 5 goals and pathways, which includes Goal 1, strengthening movements; Goal 2, developing and sharing African narratives; Goal 3, strengthening human rights frameworks; Goal 4, strengthening community adaptive capacities; and Goal 5, increasing political will for climate-just policies. In Nasarawa State, the YMCA Mother Hills and Asapin are implementing Pathway 4, which is strengthening community adaptive capacity to increase resilience.
We will stand up and speak up. We gotta beat plastic pollution in our world. YMCA. Beat plastic pollution in our world.
In the past 3 years of implementation in the state, the project embarked on community-led actions. These include an aggressive awareness and sensitization campaigns on climate issues. This is part of efforts aimed at mitigating adverse effects of climate change in the communities. In order to achieve success in their mitigative strategies, the project embarked on tree planting in communities across the state. This initiative was due to high rate of deforestation carried out by rural communities for domestic and commercial purposes. To address the challenge resulting from high rate deforestation, 13,500 oil palm tree seedlings were planted in 9 communities in the first phase. These communities are spread across 5 local government areas of the state. The local government areas are Lafia, Obi, Nasarawa, Akwanga, and Kokona. In addition, 1,500 palm tree seedling community nurseries were established in 9 communities in the state. These communities are Barkin Abdullahi BAD and Gidame Akuya in Lafia local government, Musha in Obi local government, Agunji and Ungibe in Nasarawa local government, Intakpe and Pomo in Akwanga local government, Garaku and Gidigidi in Kokona local government areas respectively. These measures were preceded by a series of capacity building training carried out by YMCA and Asapin. This is aimed at equipping the project tracking officers in these communities. This was followed by subsequent step-down trainings for community volunteers and community nursery establishments. The choice of oil palm trees was a decision by the communities and organizations implementing the project. The reason for the choice is as follows: economic, health, and climate change. One other reason, and importantly, palm trees' lifespan is between 40 to 50 years. That is not all. Over 13,500 palm seedlings were distributed to farmers, community and religious leaders, as well as volunteers. This was carried out with a colorful ceremony in Akwanga local government area of Nasarawa State. The occasion was witnessed by top government officials, traditional rulers, AACJ, and Oxfam national and regional leaders. Equally, 5 additional local government areas of Nasarawa State have been approved to benefit from the second phase of the project. This is part of effort to scale up oil palm nursery establishment to address climate change. The areas selected for the second phase of the project are Angwan Kafinta in Wamba, Alwaza in Doma, Tudu Adabu in Obi, Serki Noma in Kiana, and Tila in Kefi local government areas of the state. Already, 1,500 oil palm seedlings community nurseries have been established in each of the 5 new communities ahead of the next planting season. The AACJ project in Nasarawa State has also embarked on another mitigative strategy against the effect of climate change. The new initiative include the production of briquette to discourage indiscriminate cutting down of trees for the purpose of making charcoal and firewood as source of local energy. To achieve success and buy-in, training workshops and step-down trainings were conducted for the affected communities. These aimed at enhancing their capacities in briquette production for domestic purposes and also as means of income generation. There have also been another engagement of significance carried out by the project to raise awareness and mobilize communities for action in Nasarawa State in the past 3 years. Some of the actions include roadshow during World Environment Day, International Women's Day advocacy visits to government line ministries, radio and television live programs, school drama and debates by secondary school students on climate change, stakeholders and town hall meetings, caravan events, among others. Mr. Emmanuel Oklo-Envo is the coordinator, Nasarawa State Network of Environment and Climate Justice, NASNECH, and Mr. Angbashimi Yahuda is the Director of Climate Change, Nasarawa State Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources.
This project has actually helped to build the capacity of women, young girls, and persons with disability, including the youth population that are disproportionately impacted by climate change. This program has actually helped to build their capacity to see how they advocate for real change, for climate actions, and as well as to push government to account, more especially when it comes to policy influencing and also pushing to ensure that they domesticate the Nasarawa State climate change policy, that they are pushing strongly to ensure that the Nasarawa State House of Assembly commit to that, and as well as the state government.
Nasarawa State government, through the Ministry of Environment in collaboration with the AACJ project, they were able to come up with a climate risk vulnerability assessment of the local governments and down to wards. So they carry out this assessment for the state, and they equally help in the area of production of Nasarawa policy on climate change, NASBOC, which they helped from 2000 to 2023. We were able to produce the policy, and they also, in collaboration with non-governmental organizations in the state, they were able to come up with many projects that assisted in the area of climate change impacts and mitigation.
Some community volunteers and leaders in the 5 local government areas of Lafia, Akwanga, Nasarawa, Kokona, and Obi also share their experiences on the impact made by the project.
The project has been impactful because I learned a lot from this project. From the inception, when this NGO came in, I was educated a lot, and I come to realize that this climate change that I've been watching from network news is within us, and it has impacted a lot in the life of the people in Akwanga local government. We benefited a lot from this NGO. They gave us a lot of sensitization about climate change, on how it can be mitigated. We were empowered with palm trees, and I think in Akwanga local government we were lucky to have about 3,000 stands, and the program captured about 3 wards in Akwanga, which is Gwanji Electoral Ward, Ningo Bohar Ward, and Ancho Ward.
Apart from the briquette production, we've been backing on planting of trees. Like the YMCA gave the community 1,500 palm seedlings to plant. And apart from that, they have on their own look for local trees that will give shade light, the local mangoes. They go to the bush and collect them from the fruits that are falling, and they raise them. I personally saw it, and I visited some people in the village, and I discovered that they are really working on the knowledge they have acquired from the YMCA.
The community also gained a lot because of the PTOs who were able to synergize together to step down most of the projects, more especially the last project, that is the nursery part of the project.
This program has been a good one for us in my own community, being Garaku community. They really help us by giving us palm seedlings. We raise it by ourselves, though they bought it for us, and we now raise it ourselves. Then we distributed it to different communities.
My experience in the last 3 years of this program has been a wonderful one, in the sense that we all know what climate change is all about, the disadvantage of it, how people were affected. And most people also don't believe that the climate change is real. But when this program come up, with the advocate always carried on, people get to understand that yes, climate change is real, and what are the ways that it can help them to come out of this problem.
In fact, this AACJ, when they bring the program, the thing changed my life personally and our community. It's because, you know, they are talking about climate change. So, in fact, in our community, even trees, no any trees in our community, we don't have trees. Getting fuel is a problem to us because these trees are scarce. When they come and tell us about the climate change, they said the ozone layer have problem because of lack of trees in land. That is why they teach us how we plant. First of all, they come to our community, they teach us, so we're supposed to do something so that we should have trees around our community, around the Nasarawa we go. We hold the program when they go first planting tree. That tree, we gather women, youth, and the men together. We come and plant the tree in our community around the primary school. In fact, our primary school, no any tree. That is why even though they build the new building, even though they dress it, if the air comes, they just come and carry it away because of a non-tree. But now we surround our primary school with trees.
With the series of what is happening today, everybody has take the bull by the horn, and we are making sure that we plant trees.
Representatives of some participating NGOs also speak on the project.
After the training, we went back to our various community to step down to create awareness to them in respect to the issue of climate change, because it has affected a lot of farmers, like those that farm in Taraba from Nasarawa State and aware of this. Last year, they seriously have a lot of challenge because flood has to wash away their crops in the farmland. But with the training we have undergone, and we educate our farmers, we create awareness to them. We thank God a lot of our farmers, they have listened to what we have told them, and they have taken precaution.
My farming activities have changed because there was a year. To me, I thought I can plant groundnut, even May, June, but I learned from the climate, from the training of climate change. I have to cultivate my groundnut beginning of May, and this year I did it, and I harvest very well, more than the other years.
Eze Faith Adeze is one of the project tracking officers whose impact of the project has yielded her a foreign trip to Nairobi, Kenya.
For bringing up this project, it has given me a wider knowledge, which is one of the reasons why I'm even opportune to go for a training in Kenya. And for the past 3 years, yes, I have engaged in so many communities, which we engaged most of the community people in planting palm trees. And with the way it has been going, people have really known the effect and the negativity of what it can do to them. Particularly, you can look at Maiduguri. Nobody will believe that this flooding will happen drastically like this. But with the way things are going, I believe people will look into it and know that climate change is real.
Some students who participated in the debate and other interest groups such as Mrs. Asaba Avreson, representing persons with disabilities, shared their experiences during the project.
Humans are the main causes of climate change, burning fossil fuels and the rest. So I will advise that they should take measures. Deforestation and other things should stop. Because if you would believe me, deforestation have caused many things like flooding and other things which lead to loss of lives, loss of properties, and many others.
Well, my understanding climate change and its impact is that it made me understand more about climate, made me know more about my environment, my well-being, and the way the weather is. It made me understand more about it. I get more information, more clues about the weather. So its impact is that, well, it impacts many knowledge on me while I was participating on the debate. It impacts well on me.
When we are talking about climate change, how people with disability were also affected by the climate change, and the main project that they came and our people were impacted is the issue of sack farming, urban farming, and they trained us a lot in using our sack to plant our crops. We have no any reason to complain that we don't have land, we cannot go to farm, we are persons with disability. They train us that even in your domain, in the frontage of your house, you can be able to plant whatsoever that you want to plant to make life easy for you.
The Executive Secretary, YMCA, Ango Adamu, and Mr. Joshua Jonathan, National President of ASAPIN, are the state coordinators of AACJ project.
Some of the things that we're happy that we have done that will sustain this project beyond 2025. We put some structures at the communities, such as, planting of trees through establishment of community nurseries. And now the communities themselves have taken upon themselves to establish additional nurseries. We have also worked with some schools in which we establish climate change clubs. We have also worked with community leaders, traditional leaders, around issues of advocacy. So even if AACJ is gone today, people have knowledge of how to advocate around climate change issues. We have also trained women and youths, students, to be able to, take up issues of climate change upon themselves, that everybody has a role to play. Even if AACJ is not there, we are still being affected by climate change impact. So with this, we are satisfied that people where we have worked have enough knowledge, to be able to demand for justice, to be able to push for issues to either House of Assemblies or local government, legislative council, to address issues that has to do with climate change in their respective communities.
My heart is filled with joy that people are beginning to be aware of climate change issue in Nasarawa State. Particularly when we started, many people were adapting that climate change is real But because of the training, the capacity development of the rural community, people are now beginning to understand that climate change is real, and they are also taking action in their various community. I think when we started in 2021-22, a lot of people said, even the government officials, they were not really working towards seeing what is happening in the state. In the budget area, they are not aware. And so we have worked in those areas to help them to see the need to implement projects with budget. I think with that, I can say that we are full of joy that people are beginning to take action themselves, and they are aware that climate change is real.
Therefore, as the project winds up by 2025, some measures have been put in place to sustain its gains among the people. They include establishment of climate change clubs in schools, engagement of climate change volunteers in various communities, while some communities, having embraced the campaign, have started community and individual nursery establishments for domestic purpose and income generation.
We encourage the state government to do more in terms of supporting adaptation strategies. They can do more by using ecological funds that is being received to develop climate change interventions in the state and to reduce a lot of hardship women and youth in particular are passing through.
After that one, they even buy some seedling on their own. They come and nursery it now. We have it in our land now. Like we reach 1,000 something.
We are going to embark on planting of more trees and manage them well so that we can contribute our own effort to the global effort of combating climate change. That's one of those things we're doing right now. And I personally have promised the community to give them 50 stands of guava seedlings. That's the one I can afford for now.
We are making effort. More so, if you were there on flagging up of our own palm trees, the AACJ, that is the World Bank, have already promised taking over such a project. Now they have even requested this community to go and execute planting in Buku forest as at Anang, about 15,000 trees. They plant, maintain, sustain it by watering and others.
Equally, the project has promoted unity by bringing individuals and communities together and unifying their thought to engage relevant authorities and as well increase their confidence in public speaking abilities, among other benefits. For these and many other reasons, we cannot agree less with the views of the stakeholders than to join in appealing to the state government to provide fund to sustain the gains of AACJ project in Nasarawa State and beyond.